What if the moment you've waited for your whole life came too late? What if home was just a memory, and the people you loved had become ghosts haunting your dreams? In the final episode of 1923, titled A Dream and a Memory, we don't just witness an ending. We stand on sacred ground where legacy, loss, and love collide. This isn't a finale. It's a reckoning, a heartbreaking, soul-stirring reflection on what it truly means to endure. This is your full emotional commentary. Let's step into the ashes of the Dutton story and see what still burns. It starts not with fire, not with violence, but with silence. A deep, echoing silence that stretches across the snowy Montana plains like a prayer unspoken. You can almost hear the land breathing. It's not the quiet of peace. It's the quiet after the storm. The kind that knows what's been lost and doesn't dare speak it aloud. From the opening scene, A Dream and a Memory sets the tone not with action, but with reflection. This finale doesn't scream. It whispers. And yet, its whisper is louder than any gunfire or stampede we've seen across this series. It's a whisper of heartbreak, of burden, of the kind of grief that takes generations to untangle. And there he is, Spencer Dutton, the man we followed across oceans and deserts, through war and heartbreak, through shipwrecks and shattered love, the man who clawed his way home. He rides up not like a hero, but like a ghost finally reaching the house that raised him. And it hits you immediately. This isn't a homecoming. This is a funeral without a casket. Cara steps outside, the woman who poured her entire soul into getting him home. We remember her letters, desperate, trembling with hope. Letters that crossed continents. Letters that burned with the fear of what would happen if he didn't make it in time. And now he's here. But the cost is etched in every line on her face. When Spencer wraps his arms around her, it's not joy, it's mourning. They don't celebrate. They hold each other like people who know what it means to lose. Too much. That embrace, it's soaked in regret. It's heavy with words unspoken. And in that moment, we know Jacob is gone. His presence is everywhere and nowhere. His hat still hangs by the door. His pipe still rests on the shelf. But the chair is empty, and the silence left in his absence is louder than any presence could ever be. Inside the house, the shadows are long. And then we see Elizabeth Dot still, silent, looking out the window at nothing. The nursery is untouched, a cradle that never held a child, a bonnet that never touched a baby's head. And she just stands there, holding it, like she's holding onto a dream that dissolved in her hands. She doesn't cry. That's what breaks you. There are no tears, no breakdown. Just a haunting kind of stillness, because sometimes grief doesn't scream. Sometimes it just lingers, like a ghost, like a shadow that refuses to leave the room. Jack tries to reach her. He wants to help. He wants to fix it. But grief real. Soul-deep grief makes strangers out of people who once held each other through the night. Jack buries himself in work. He rides the fences, mends the land, puts his hands in the dirt like he's trying to plant something that can grow over the pain. But even he admits it. Maybe this land takes more than it gives. That line, that single line is the Dutton legacy in 10 words. This land, their birthright, their curse demands blood. It demands children, fathers, mothers, love, time. And all it gives in return is survival. Maybe. Cara, though, she's still writing letters. Old habits die hard. Even with Spencer home, she continues the ritual. It's not about postage anymore. It's about remembrance. It's about holding onto a sense of self, a thread through the storm. Her voice is calm, but her hands tremble. She writes, I have buried more than I can count, but I remain. That single sentence could be carved on the gravestone of every Dutton. They don't thrive. They endure. And then there's Teona. Her journey, God. Her journey has been a symphony of suffering. But in this finale, we see her walk, not run back to her people. She's no longer a victim. She's no longer a fugitive. She's a survivor. And when she kneels beside her grandmother, something shifts. The pain is still there, but it's no longer the defining note in her song. And then she smiles. A quiet, broken, resilient smile. Not because she's safe, but because she's no longer alone. That's the theme of this entire episode. Not joy, not closure, but connection. After the storm, who's still standing beside you? Whitfield, our villain, our symbol of corruption in a suit, gets what he deserves. But not with gunfire or a hangman's rope. No. He's destroyed by dignity, by resistance, by the land itself rejecting him. He's the man who thought power and land could be bought. But Montana and the Duttons have always known land isn't something you buy. It's something you bleed for. And when he realizes he's alone, truly, spiritually alone, it's the loneliest moment in the whole show. But then it happens. Spencer, asleep, dreams. And there's James Dutton, the founding father, the man who braved the Oregon Trail, the original. He stands there, not young, not strong, but wise, weathered, heavy with the weight of time. You don't own the land, son, he says. You just hold it, long enough for someone else to take the reins. That moment is everything. It's not just a conversation between dream and memory. It's the thesis of the entire Dutton saga. This land is not a gift. It's a burden passed down from blood to blood. And Spencer hears it. You can see it settle in his eyes, the understanding. The inheritance. Morning comes. The sky bleeds light. Across the plains. Spencer steps onto the porch. Cara joins him. They don't speak. They don't need to. They look out at what's left, the ranch, the hills, the land that has taken so much, but still belongs to them. Not because they conquered it, but because they survived it. The music doesn't swell. The dialogue doesn't spike. It just begins. With breath. With presence. With the understanding that this story, this legacy, will go on. Not in peace, but in perseverance. And we, the viewers, are left not with closure, but with something far more real. A wound, healing slowly. A love that outlives death. A dream that refuses to die, even if it never truly arrives. So much was taken this season. John, Emma, Jacob, the baby, faith, time. But here's what remains. Dignity, memory, love, connection, and that fierce, unyielding spirit that defines the Dutton name. 1923 wasn't about heroes. It was about humans. Broken, resilient, bleeding, holding each other through the darkness. And this finale, a dream and a memory, gives us everything we didn't know we needed. It gives us grief. It gives us grace. And it leaves us with the most powerful truth of all. Sometimes just surviving is enough. Thank you for riding this trail with us, for crying with us, for hoping with us. The Duttons may be scarred, but they're not gone. And the land remembers. Until next time, for the land, for the family, for the legacy.